And that is what the soldiers did. Meanwhile, standing near the cross of Jesus were his mother and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. When Jesus saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing beside her, he said to his mother, "Woman, here is your son." Then he said to the disciple, "Here is your mother." And from that hour, the disciple took her into his own home.
This project, Pietà, Woman, Behold Your Son, Behold Your Mother, is by artist and minister Reverend T. Denise Anderson, who is also the author of this liturgy that we're participating in. It is a visual art and sermon project on Emmett Till's murder, with a particular focus on his mother. As you watch this video, consider how you feel looking at these works. Who is God calling us to behold today? And how will we respond?
2020 can be counted by many of us, I think, as one of the worst years of our lives, if not the worst. For me, it just felt like a constant, unending Good Friday experience where you are witness to horror after horror after horror without any apparent end or relief. We had moved to Louisville, Kentucky the year prior, so it hadn't yet been a year for us when the COVID-19 pandemic emerged. And for as much as the pandemic stopped in our lives, it couldn't stop everything. For instance, it couldn't stop this practice of extrajudicial killings of Black people, and Louisville, Kentucky found itself as one of the epicenters of racial unrest in America. And as things were ramping up in the case against the police officers who were involved in the issuing of the not warrant the night Breonna was killed, we were also nearing the anniversary of Emmett Till's murder. And I was just wondering what about that is pertinent. There feels like there's something here. And as a creative, the way I lean into grief is to create through it. And I wanted to create through this. You think back on the events of 1955 and what Mrs. Mamie Till Mobley did and how that catalyzed a movement. It's just unthinkable that we are still wrestling with these very issues that took her son from her. And I just needed to paint through that. And with 2020 feeling like a Good Friday experience, I think of Jesus's words in John's Gospel talking about that day where he says to his mother, "Woman, behold your son." And, there's no indication who he's talking about, if he's talking about himself or the beloved disciple. But what would it mean for Mary to look at her son as he's being lynched? Because he was being lynched. What kind of fortitude would that take? Where would you have to go? And so I dove into Mrs. Till Mobley's narrative to see what it took for her. What does it take to witness that horror? And how long will it take for us to pay attention to what it does to her and to other mothers?